Hello and welcome. I'm Mariana Trapnell, President and Chief Excel Geek at Accelerations and creator of the 5 Steps to Fast Reports method. So today I wanted to talk a bit more about doing fast analysis in Excel by using the 2 magic buttons in there called the Control key and the Shift key on your keyboard. Last time we talked a bit about how the Control key can really help speed up how you jump around in your data. And today I want to throw in an extra little trick there called the Shift key to help you select the data between where you're jumping. So without further ado, let's dive in and see how that works. Okay, so we have our orders list of data again here, and we talked last time about the Control key, how you can use Control on your keyboard and down arrow to jump right to the bottom of the list, Control up arrow to jump right to the top, Control right arrow to jump to the right. So that's fairly straightforward, but just to throw the extra little trick in, let's hold down the Control Shift keys. So Control Shift, I'm just holding down with my left hand here at the far left of the keyboard. And then I'm just going to hit the down arrow on my keyboard again. So that jumps me to close to the bottom, but you can see I've got a couple of blank rows in here, so it's stopping there. So I'm going to hold down Control Shift again, and down arrow, and down arrow. So now I've been able to select the entire range in column A here. Now, without changing anything else, I'm just going to hold down Control Shift, right arrow, and you can see that's actually jumped me to the far right of my data. And the reason it did that was because it went Order ID over to Lines using the Control right arrow, and by holding Shift down it selected everything in between as well. So let's try that on our shipping date. If I hold down Control Shift down arrow, it's going to jump me down to the next blank row. Next populated row, next populated row, and Control Shift down arrow, I can keep going. Okay, so something to keep in mind there, if I happen to be on a row that doesn't have some data in one of the columns, if I do Control Shift right arrow, it's going to populate to there, okay, so that's something to keep in mind. But if I go to Control Shift down arrow and right arrow, that kind of populates all the way down, but I'm missing a couple rows, so again, Control Shift down arrow, Control Shift down arrow, gets me to the bottom of the list. Okay. One further trick related to that, or trick rather, if I am at the top left corner of my data and I hit Control A, you can see it's kind of done that for me already. It's done a selection of everything in my table. But when you do that, you definitely want to scroll down and make sure it truly grabbed everything, because if you do have a couple of blank rows, it could miss it. So you can see there it's missed this, so I'm just going to do Control Shift down arrow, and that would have gotten me to the next populated row. You can see there, and Control Shift down arrow again gets me to everything. Okay, and then I've got everything selected and I can go forward and do tables or pivot tables or whatever it is I need to do with that data. Alright, so that is the Control and Shift keys combined, as well as a Control A thrown in for good measure. And you can see how that really helps do some faster analysis and move around quickly in Excel. So we'll end that here today. I just want to mention that if you're interested in receiving more of these tips, feel free to stop by accelerations.com. That's accelerations with an X at the front and a double L in the middle. And just scroll to the bottom of the page here and you'll see there's a button where you can sign up to receive future tips and tricks and updates about an upcoming Pivot Tables webinar that I'll be hosting in the near future. So please feel free to stop by there, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for stopping by.